Welcome back. Good morning, dear Tibetians across the globe. My name is Emmanuel Mdiniswa. Today is yet another wonderful day, and the date is the 14th of April 2019. So much glad, so much excited to have an opportunity to come live once again. Now, without waste of time, let us just go through our admin blog as a matter of sharing updates from the admin blog of TBC. Now, let's just quickly go there. Without waste of time, I came in rushing for this broadcast. Now, the first item here on the blog says the new Bitcoin bounty is very exciting. It's a video of which you can access. Remember, we have the 8 grains as our monthly fee now. If you want to take advantage of the new Bitcoin bounty, please make payment of your 8 grains as your monthly fee. This is the subject concerning that here. This is the video. Click the video and get to learn and understand how the Bitcoin bounty works or functions. Since we have graduated, we are now supposed to pay 8 grains, which is about 301 South African rands for your KCPO on monthly basis. This one says we have all the tools we need to build out TPC to 1 billion members in 2019. We have all the tools that we need. Of course, we have the tools that we need. Mr. Stephen Kefi will explain things for us. Click the video and learn from him, please. TPC allows you to become your own boss, especially with the new passive residual income. This residual income is so much exciting. You get compensated when you bring your new sign-ups, as long as you have activated your KCPO to the bounty concept. You will be able to get what the residual income. This one says, I'm paying out Bitcoin bounties. It's an image. You can see the image. There are people who are already getting payment from the Bitcoin, this Bitcoin bounty since it was introduced. There are people who have actually crossed over to pay the 8 grains monthly fee. Admin has our best interest in mind. Another video where you can access it. Admin has our best interest in mind. Definitely another interesting contribution here by a member of the Billion Coin. Thank you so much, sir. Then we have the wind is bringing in new TPC merchants all the time. If you click here, you are gonna see the merchants. Since you know that we are also embarking on the merchants campaigns. Here is it. Here are the merchants for your own information. Then we have TPC has changed my life and can change yours too. Another video. TPC is effecting change to people's lives. It's bringing change to humanity at large across the globe. There are some wonderful, encouraging videos these days in the admin blog. This one says, know your enemy and their plans. It's a Bangla. You click here, listen and learn to some of the leaders. Mr. Mizanu, Ranman Mizanu from the Bengal version. Passive residual income will drive TPC community growth. Another contribution concerning the passive residual income. Mr. Stephen Kefi is here yet again, helping to make us understand how passive income works. Darren Howard does his 301st live broadcast. Woo! 301 live broadcast, Mr. Darren Howard. People who are fully plugged into the TPC. Broadcasters. We need so many broadcasters. If you are a member and you have not become a TPC broadcaster, we encourage you to become one. Become a broadcaster in TPC and recognize and find your voice. Then there's so much. Let us look at, I wish to look at the cookies today, the cookie rewards. Let's go to the cookie rewards. I want to share something concerning the cookie rewards since we are preparing for the redemption period. This is cookie rewards, key definitions, how to verify transactions in KCPO to get cookie rewards for doing a transaction. It's a video, clear instructions to set up a TPC broadcast. Fine. How to properly do transaction verifications in KCPO, cookie rewards, 2019 cookie rewards poster. Let me see how to take full advantage of the cookie rewards. It's a video, step-by-step instructions on how to verify transactions, exceptions to the policy, limitations of one. Let's look at this article today. Let's look at this one concerning the cookie rewards. It says, in this article, I will cover why some exceptions will be made to the policy of the maximum amount of TPC coins that can be given to an individual through cookie rewards is 100 lifetime total cookie rewards. Remember this article. Now, before I get into those exceptions, I need to make a few things clear. TPC is not a currency with a mission. TPC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. The mission carries the currency. The currency doesn't carry the mission. That's what I said here. TPC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. When you start the public notices, this becomes more clear. If you go into this here, Kringle Cash / public notice, you will get to know more. Now, as you should know, a legal structure has been put in place where all 1 billion TPC coins are in a master trust, and a sub-trust is created for every TPC wallet, and the coins they hold beneath the master trust. You don't own TPC. Before you get a send button in your TPC wallet, you must pass the send button test, right? Let's look at question 2. Remember the question 2 of the send button. It says, because we are a private community, we are entitled to self-regulation with our centralized coin network, and discounters of our coins will have their send buttons turned off by admin. Other abusive behavior within our community could also result in the same thing. If a member's send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform, and then they can get their send button turned back. We have seen that decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people discounting them will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss for all users for those coins. A coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate its use centrally. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Then it says, are you allowed to transact with our coin at any price of your choosing? No, our coin is part of a private community and you have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Yes, you purchase the coin and it's your property to use as you wish at whatever price you want. Remember these questions, of which, of course, the no part is the right answer. Our coin is part of a private community and you have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. That is the right answer. Now it says here the correct answer is no. Our coin is part of a private community and we have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Pay close attention to these sentences. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Once you understand how the sub-trust protects you and the whole TPC community, you will get very excited. Let me give you an example of the principle here. The principle is to own nothing and control much. To a poor person, this may not make sense, but rich people already understand this principle. So in this example, there are two dogs. A poor man owns a dog and licenses the dog under his own name. And the dog bites a wealthy man. The wealthy man sues the poor man and in court and wins and garnishes his wages to pay off the judgment, and the poor man becomes poorer. The second dog belongs to a trust. A rich man sets up for that dog, and the only thing in that trust is the dog. That dog bites a poor woman. She thinks she will certainly become rich by suing the rich man, but the case is dismissed because the rich man does not own the dog and there is no money in the trust. The point to this example is to welcome the legal structure of the TPC and don't obsess over not owning TPC. The problem with the current financial structure is corruption has completely taken over, allowing the hoarding of wealth away from the mass majority. It is pure evil that now 1% of all 99% all the wealth in the world, leaving about 50% of the world population in abject poverty. What a waste of human potential. Strip away the means of a man, and that man is likely to lead a meaningless life. Hope you can see how evil it is. This is the reason TPC has been forging a new path away. We are going to our own centered. We are going our own way, centered on truths and not lies. Now, 100 TPC coins is worth a great deal today, and it will become massive once we reach our objective of 1 billion members. This was the current number of people by the time this was written, 3,309,852 members at the moment of writing this article. So that means each TPC coin is worth 3,039,852 grains. And when we use this third-party calculator, it shows $8,496,665.90. Remember the gold grain calculator, the one that we are using. Now times that by 100 TPC coins, and that equals to 849.666.590 in US. Then when we reach our objective of 1 billion members, those same 100 TPC coins will be worth 100 billion grains of gold, which is so big, this calculator can't process it. But it is roughly $250 billion. At some point, you can withdraw the conclusion of having too much abundance, especially when you understand the responsibilities that come with having a stewardship. Yes, the TPC billionaires will be the ones erecting future skyscrapers and establishing institutions of their own, and they will be able to provide liquidity to the TPC millionaires they align with in this regard, in this grand mission to raise up humanity. But in order for an economy to work, there needs to be some friction between socio-economic classes, and not everyone can be a billionaire. Another thing to consider is that there are exactly 1 billion TPC coins. There are exactly 1 billion TPC coins. If it was too easy to get 100 TPC coins, then once 10 million members collected them, the admin wallet would run to zero prematurely, and that would be the end of cookie rewards. And without further incentive to offer, we most likely would not be able to get to 1 billion members. Frankly, if you manage to hit this limitation, you shouldn't be concerned about getting even more TPC coins. You should be even more excited and work even harder to help the community get to 1 billion members, knowing that the incentive is to mature your coins to $250 billion. Whew, that's a massive stewardship. The TPC community will expect much from you. TPC was never meant to be a mission of personal gain only. We do want to raise all members up in the end. Worst case scenario, you will become a TPC millionaire. A simple transaction of 40 grains worth of Kringles will result in TPC millionaire status. And it doesn't get easier than that to become millionaire. What I find interesting is the notion that today you could do such a transaction and then immediately go through the redemption process, and out of sheer ignorance, some people think they should be able to cash it all in. Where do these people think that money is coming from? We are in the distribution phase. People, movement in the millions, such as that would only be available once a mature, full-blown TPC Kringle economy has been established. Think of the distribution phase like a condominium skyscraper being built, and condos are being sold long before they are built. People literally are buying air at first. Maybe the foundation has been built and people are buying condos on the 10th floor already. The 10th floor won't exist for at least a year, and people feel like they are getting a bargain with their purchase, and they are not wrong. So I think I have cleared up a lot there before getting into the exceptions of the on the 200 TPC cookie rewards limit. All exceptions relate to building up memberships in TPC. Let's look at how a member could even get to this 100 TPC limit in the first place. Broadcasters certainly have the advantage here. Broadcasters can get 1 million cookies for every send button meeting they view. They would have to view 10,000 meetings to hit the limit of 100 TPC coins. That's not likely to ever happen. They also get 1 million cookies for every broadcast that they do. And again, it will take 10,000 broadcasters to hit the limit. So meetings and broadcast are not going to ever match that limit alone. Broadcasters do get 100 million cookies for each exchange of 40 grains, and it would cost about $10,000 worth of Kringles to hit the limit. I can see that happening in a few cases, but in principle, we don't want to exceed the 100 TPC limit based solely on large purchases. That was the main reason I wrote the previous article saying cookie rewards is not available for institutions. A basic millionaire member that doesn't broadcast gets 100,000 cookies for the same transaction. It would cost them $10 million worth of TPC to hit the limit. So far, these are not the ways members would even hit the limit. Builders that sponsor 100 new members get 1 billion cookies for each set of 100. So a big builder that signs up 1,000 new members could hit this limit. Ultimately, scammers have swarmed around TPC community, taking advantage wherever they can. In the last 2 redemption periods, all referrals counted towards cookie rewards, and email verification was all that was required. Have you noticed that most of the recruiting services around TPC dried up and went away once membership was based on paid status and not just email verified? Admin has seen a lot of obvious fraud coming from these recruiting services, and the change to paid status corrected that situation. So if you have earned enough cookie rewards that exceeds the 100 TPC limit based on sign-ups and sent in a support ticket asking for an exception, they better be really referrals. For now, if you signed up over 1,000 paid referrals and ask for an exception, I can accept that and issue the addition TPC coins as and deserving the reward. But if you try to scam admin by claiming all of your emails verified non-paid sign-ups are real, then you will need to prove it. Get them to become paid and have them complete their profiles. A true builder doesn't sign up people and immediately abandon them. Being a sponsor comes with some responsibility to encourage their recruits to fully plug into the TPC community. We are turning people into millionaires and billionaires for goodness sake. Why wouldn't they want to fully plug in? I'm just going to say it. If you think you deserve to get some more 100 TPC coins for a half-assessed job on your part, you are crazy. On the other hand, if you have carefully read the blog, I have shown you many ways to become a builder, and you can get thousands of new members in paid status and plugged into the TPC community. Right? And those kind of builders, I really don't have a limit for you. Send in a support ticket and make your case. If you have clean paid referrals and they have completed their profiles, then you fit into the exception, and admin will reward you beyond the limit. Right, members, time is against me. Let me just try and squeeze myself here. Let me just try and squeeze against myself here. Let me see. Many of you have run meetings, large meetings, and have set up a good system to sign up thousands of people. Or perhaps you have partnered with a number of merchants and they pass out your business cards. I could go along with that as long as you followed up with each signed up. Some sales funnels could also produce thousands of paid referrals. So, like I said, all exceptions relate to building up memberships in TPC. We will look at each situation a case-by-case basis. This article will be required reading if you present a case through the help desk, and we will investigate. Honesty is the best policy, right? Time. My time is competing against me. Now, this article needs rereading, particularly to our newest members. We are trying to show basic material concerning the cookie rewards that you can be able to accumulate or access during this promotion period. And also because we are also heading towards the redemption period. You people out there, the first thing that you must do, please log into your clinical cashback office and check your date of expiration. Please don't make that mistake of missing the redemption period. All what you have worked for, all what you have accumulated, it has to be redeemed in May. May is around the corner. Since today is what date is today? The 14th of April. So we're going towards May. So please I want to remind you, look after your cookies, and before redemption, you still have got time to collect as much cookies as you can. Attend your send pattern meetings as always, and also embark on these promotion activities for you to collect as much cookies as you can. If you are a good builder, go for it. 100 sign-ups will give you 1 billion cookies, and as well as remember of the Bitcoin bounties. If you are strong enough before redemption, you can make yourself some money through the Bitcoin bounty system, which is operating as I speak to you. Now, members, due to time is against me. I would love to continue, but then time is against me. Let me hope that this article will also help you, particularly our newest people, to understand how cookie rewards actually happen. In my next contribution, I will still stick to cookie rewards because I want you guys to understand how to deal with cookie rewards before the redemption period. May God bless you as you listen to my broadcast as ever. For now, due to time, I would like to say, please, people, I would be seeing you again in my next contribution. Bye for now and stay focused. I thank you. Yeah.